I guess I want to roll my sleeves up. This is fighting time here. It's completely ridiculous, and I pray and I hope that if you're a soon-to-be new mom, soon-to-be blessed with a child, and you're going to have choices to make on what's the best things to do for your child's safety, their health. I hope you'll stay tuned in the entire length of this video. In the future, this will be on YouTube. On the research links that I'll be discussing will be on the website, thewilddoc.com. Get those, read through them, start to understand that point blank, the CDC is giving horrible advice, and in fact, potentially deadly advice to mothers right now. Seen this come across my feed, I think sometime last night, noticed that the CDC has a page recommending that nursing mothers, actually, I could call it, they're basically calling for women, mothers, to quarantine themselves away from their babies and to no longer directly breastfeed. Thank God, I mean, to some degree, they actually still recommend that the mother can express milk. My wife, anytime we travel, anytime we're away, and she's still producing milk, she's going to pump that breast milk, express it, and get it to baby, or save it for later dates when baby happens to spend a night at their grandparents to give us a little break. But here's the reality, this advice by the CDC, and that's a picture of my beautiful wife and baby little girl Magnolia. So, the CDC's advice here, you can go and you can find that. The Centers for Disease Control is recommending that women, literally breastfeeding moms, quarantine themselves, remove themselves, do not have contact during the duration of their flu. If mom's infected with the flu, then she should stay away from baby, don't go near baby, don't hold baby, don't touch baby, don't directly nurse baby. And I want to talk about why that is some horrible advice right now. I cannot understand why our society and anybody right now in the medical field, in this world right now, continues to listen to recommendations by our CDC. They do mention in this, and I have videos on my website about Tamiflu. They mention that women, and they should take Tamiflu, and I want to discuss that briefly. They're horrible recommendations, and right on their website, you'll be able to pick out the fact that they're not even using common sense, and they're giving horrible recommendations, saying it's safe when they don't have the data, and we'll discuss that as well. But here you go. I know that it may be difficult to read these. Again, you can go to the websites. I provide the links on my website, thewilddoc.com, when these videos are uploaded there. So based on 2011 recommendations concerning influenza in the healthcare setting, mothers with influenza or the flu should temporarily not breastfeed their newborns. That is horrible and potentially deadly advice, and I'm going to read through the research with you at the end of this video. However, they can provide expressed milk. Thank you, Jesus, the fact that they have some common sense, right? Not the mom's mom. I'm making fun of the CDC here. Thank God that they actually provided that information, milk, to newborns via health care giver, a healthy caregiver. Somebody should be caring for baby. Mom shouldn't be even close. That's bad advice, because direct skin-to-skin contact, saliva of baby, is literally a mechanism for which baby can transmit signals and signal to mother through her breast milk. It's like they call it in some articles, journals, they're calling it like baby's backwash. All right, we know it's gross when you watch baby get a hold of your drink and then you see all this floaters in there. Parents, get over it. That's good stuff. In terms of breastfeeding, you want that, mom. You want that backwash to go into your body to transmit signals to you and your body and your immune system, to take the information from that baby's saliva and be able to identify the specific needs of your baby. Please do not leave your baby's side at a critical time when baby may need the full support of your immune system to fight off an infection. And I'll talk more specifically about why this is horrible advice, but going on, influenza, also called the flu, is an acute respiratory tract illness, infected in the nose, throat, lungs, causing contagious respiratory illnesses. Give you 2 bits of information that I would highly suggest. Utilizing one of the most inexpensive supplements that has some boosting effects. It's just ascorbic acid, vitamin C, even if it's synthetic. You know what? Juice and freeze the lemon peels and put those into ice, organic, of course, high amounts of vitamin C in that. Get that kind of stuff in your body. Some other things that are specifically antiviral and help and assist and boost your immune system against the influenza. Two things that have been studied that I think and rave about, elderberry being one, and then honeysuckle buds or flowers, guess what, folks, actually was absorbed by the digestive tract in animal studies, going directly to the sites of virulence or infection such as the respiratory tract, high amounts, and could actually save infected cells, taking cells that were infected by the virus and saving them literally. So it's literally saving the life of your healthy cells that may be infected. They can actually block the viral replication and save those healthy cells. So phenomenal wilderness remedies out there, elderberry, some honeysuckle, turkey tail mushrooms, things that help and assist our body. Don't be thinking you need to exclude yourself from taking care and being there with your baby. Because skin-to-skin contact, that alone can boost baby's immune system, keep them comfortable, keep them calm, keep them at peace and at rest, which would enable them to have a stronger immune response. Now, we all understand, or most of us should, that baby's immune system is immature at early stages in life. So their immune responses are dependent on mom's body and mom's immune system. So don't leave your baby when they may be infected as well. That's the point we have to get to. I want to talk about this briefly here. Our antiviral prescription medications, they even have the question that most moms would want to ask. Moms are going to say, hey, they should have had on here, don't take Tylenol, because Tylenol would reduce a fever, reducing the ability for the immune system to be able to produce leukocytes and immune factors that would be able to fight off an infection, both in mom and baby, that they would be harmful, that they cause gastrointestinal bleeds, they can cause glutathione depletion, mitochondrial damage through fever-reducing medications. They increase the virulence and pathogenicity and the severity of illness, increasing the risk of mortality if you lower a fever. So please understand that. Again, if you want more information on anti-fever medications and the harms and deadly effects of those during a flu infection, again, I have those videos on my website. Our antiviral prescriptions, such as Tamiflu, is the one that I have been hammering here lately. Medication safe for use while mothers are breastfeeding and providing express breast milk to their infants. They say, yes, they're safe, but watch. See, most mothers, sadly, this is not a plug against mothers and parents out there. This is solely going after the ignorant and arrogant advice of the CDC and the medical profession. They're not professionals if they're giving this type of junk advice. Mom would want to know, is that medication proven safe? Well, number one, Tamiflu is not safe. It causes kidney failure, psychosis, increased symptoms and reactions such as severe vomiting and diarrhea, especially in children. Folks, those were the effects, and more people were dying when on Tamiflu. The FDA, in fact, had to issue warnings to Roche. One of the times I was thankful to see the FDA do its job, but the CDC continues to lie about the safety of this medication. All right, folks, the FDA issued warnings to Roche saying, Roche, you cannot make any claims that your antiviral medication, Tamiflu, would be able to save lives or reduce pneumonia, because you've never provided any information. So here's the big question. What is this drug doing on the market if it doesn't reduce death rate and doesn't reduce the severity of the illness, thus could progress into pneumonia and be a worse outcome for anybody taking the medication? And then your own data from Roche showed that patients were dying of kidney failure because of Tamiflu. Folks, they say yes. CDC says yes, period. Well, I'm going to say no, period. Why? Because you don't have the data to support your claims of saying yes. Why? Because data on the effect of these medications on breastfeeding are limited, meaning basically non-existent. This is horrible. Our CDC will say, yes, we believe it's safe. Yes, it's safe. They answer the question as if they know. But then in the same paragraph, which so many mothers probably will be like, oh, thank God, my doctor recommended it. I wanted to make sure it's safe. Oh, I checked the CDC website. The CDC website They asked that question and they said yes, period. They don't read it any further. That's what the period's for, so that their mothers would believe that it was safe, and yet they admit they don't know. Yet the data shows no improvement in survival, no reduction in severity of disease with the use of Tamiflu, and then kidney failure in patients and psychosis in patients. So there is potential of, God forbid, permanent neurological brain damage from this drug. Things we're going to find out in the future, folks. Folks, here's the important thing. Right now, moms need to know that if they're there, they need to stay in direct contact with their babies, because baby will be signaling to them again the necessity of immune factors that need to be expressed through that breast milk into baby's body, because the baby's immature immune system needs mama's immune cells. Folks, breastfeeding is associated with the production of type 1 interferon, so it literally interferes with the viral replication and the virus infection, so infected with influenza virus. Again, the conclusions, to simplify it, these observations suggest that breast milk can protect against respiratory viruses by activating innate antiviral mechanisms in the host being the baby. Folks, mama's breast milk. Women, I literally bow down to you and say thank you so much for having amazing bodies that can do so much for your children. And I'm not harping, because I always feel bad, because I'm a man and I know the struggles that some women must go through. I mean, I've seen the struggles at times. Breastfeeding is not easy. It's a full-time job at times. It takes away from sleep. It can be uncomfortable. But what you're doing right there is amazing for your baby. Please continue to do that. And the mothers out there that are having difficulty, please get chiropractic care. Look at your nutrition. Look at herbal things that can assist and help with milk production. Do the best you possibly can, and that's all you can do, is do the best you possibly can to provide healthy milk for your babies, all right? But know how important it is. See, what's happening so often is society, westernized nations have literally almost demonized breastfeeding. You can't do it in restaurants. You can't do it out in public. You know what? We need to embrace the fact that moms are doing one of the most amazing things they possibly can do for their babies by breastfeeding and being available to their babies whenever their babies need it. Women, I applaud you. All right, but maternal and infant infections stimulate a rapid leukocyte response in breast milk. So both folks, these studies that I'm presenting to you showed that both if mom was infected, mom would produce more leukocytes and immune factors that would help and boost the immune system and protect baby. But even when baby was infected, and not even when mom was infected, that the backwash from baby, see, you put something on your skin, you're going to absorb it, so know what you're putting on your skin. Just a little added note there. But the baby's saliva is going to literally be absorbed by the nipple of the mother, by the breast tissue, go into the breast tissue, and then the localized immune responses in the breast of the mother would change the production of what was being fed to baby. So mom needs direct contact. If there is not direct contact with the baby would not be capable of signaling to mom what baby needed in terms of immune response. So here's my point. If mom separates herself from her child for any period of time, and let's say mom came down with the flu, and through the CDC's recommendation, she decides to exclude herself from contact with baby. God forbid, she chose to give formula to the caregivers thinking that her breast milk may be infected, so she didn't want to infect baby. That could be the logic that a mom takes away from the bad CDC recommendations, the harmful, possibly deadly CDC recommendations. Mom wouldn't breastfeed at all, giving formula, and guess what the research says? It says that a formula-fed baby has increases in severity of infectious illness and durations and times, and the times that they get infectious illnesses. Meaning mama is necessary. Breast milk is necessary for a protective mechanism for that child. So This baseline level was maintained throughout lactation unless the mother, so the baseline leukocytes could be up to 0 to 2% of leukocytes, so immune factors in the mother's milk. But when leukocyte numbers significantly increased to up to 94% leukocytes out of the total cells in the breast milk. Upon recovery from infection, baseline values were restored, both in mom and baby and even. This is why mothers, if you do express breast milk, you'll see at times, you'll see bright white breast milk, tons of protein, nutrition, and then you'll see this yellow, mucousy color almost. Guess what that is? Those are all those leukocytes, those immune cells being given, fed to baby, up to 94%. 94% of the cells in breast milk were leukocytes necessary to boost and protect baby against severe disease, severe infection, and even mortality, folks. See, it baffles me that the CDC would think this is good advice. Anybody would. Considering the fact that in third world nations, the best thing, the most protective thing, no vaccine, nothing, the most protective thing for a baby and baby's outcomes during infectious illness is mother's breast milk. Even during measles infection, the safest, most effective thing to allow baby to fight that off, guess what? It's mother's breast milk. Time and time again, with different infectious illnesses, including the influenza virus, they have shown that mother provides baby with the immune cells necessary to fight off that infection. Never leave your baby's side during an infection. Phenomenal stuff there. Immune cell mediated protection of the mammary gland and the infant during breastfeeding. Active and passive immunity protects the infant via the breast milk, which is rich in immunoglobulins, lactoferrin, lysozymes, cytokines, numerous other immunological factors, including maternal leukocytes. Breast milk leukocytes provide active immunity and promote development of immunocompetence, a competent immune system in their baby. All right, recently it has been demonstrated that breast milk leukocytes respond dynamically to the maternal as well as the infant infections and are fewer and non-exclusively compared with exclusively breastfeeding. So exclusively breastfeeding would be the best. So here's the thing. Let's give this scenario here real quick. Mother becomes infected. She learns that she's infected. Here's the incubation time period. It can be 1 to 4 days before any symptoms arise. Thus, baby practically being by mama's side, in mama's arms, constantly, day to day. How in the world would you think that baby wasn't infected when mom was infected? It's ridiculous to say, oh, to protect your baby, then exclude your baby as soon as you have. By that point in time, baby would be infected too. So that's why it's critical for mama to stay right by baby's side and continue to express and give the baby breast milk. So here's where even express breast milk from mother being separate from baby would not be as beneficial and could potentially be harmful. So let's say mom gets infected, all right, first. And before they separate, baby's infected as well, but a couple days later. Mom separates herself. Mom will be expressing and producing more leukocytes, immune factors, and giving that through her expressed breast milk that the healthy caregiver would then be taking that breast milk over to baby and feeding baby in a separate room, separate house. So there's potential benefit through that manner, thank God. But the reality is mom will begin to recover from that infection. As mom recovers, because she's not in direct contact with baby's saliva, she's not absorbing through that backwash the signaling factors necessary to say that baby's still infected. Thus, when mom recovers, there's going to be delay and a reduction in the leukocytes that are necessary for baby to continue to fight it off. So let's say mama goes through her 7 days of separation with baby, even if she was expressing the breast milk, letting a caregiver take it to the baby, she recovers, and as she recovers, her leukocytes are going to go down in her breast milk. Thus, baby's over here 2 days, 3 days behind mama, in which an immature immune response is going to take longer to fight off that infection. So mom's leukocytes are going down because she's not in direct contact with that baby. Guess what? We are putting that baby at an immunological disadvantage for several days. So mom recovers, a couple days, she goes back to breast. Boom, thank God, if she goes back to lip to nipple contact with her baby suckling, guess what? that backwash is going to signal to mom, thank God, and mom's going to have to start boosting her leukocyte production again, giving baby. It can respond very quickly and dramatically, thank God for that. But the reality is this, we'll be placing that baby at, if you guys are on live on Facebook, give me some hearts real quick so that you know that I have hammered this home, that people understand, that everyone watching right now can believe that for people who aren't aware, they aren't in that crunchy, natural-minded, they're not studying up on this stuff, that they would understand what I'm trying to get at here. Anytime we leave our baby's side, to me, would be neglect. And I say that with strong words, and I know that moms might not want to hear that because they only want to do what's best for their babies. But I'm telling you right now, according to the research and the evidence we have, mama, don't leave your baby's side, please, at a time when they need you most. All right, folks, if you want to continue to tune into this video, I'm going to go through this study, give you some additional scientific statements and sentences, stuff that will help you out with understanding that you're doing the best. Listen, mom, again, be there with your baby when they need you most. All right, be doing what mamas do best. That superhero mama within you is producing the immune cells that baby needs every second of them being infected. And remember that it's not just the influenza virus that could cause harm. There are the bacteria for pneumonia and things. So if you leave your baby's side, what if a baby, that healthy caregiver, is carrying pneumonia or staph or some other infectious illness that mom isn't exposed to, but baby is? Baby becomes infected with something different than what mom's infected with. Well, then guess what? Mom doesn't know. Mom's body doesn't know because mom is not in direct skin-to-skin contact with their baby. Their baby's signaling pathway of their backwash is unable to tell mom, hey, I've got a different virus. Hey, I've got a different bacterial pathogen in me right now that I need assistance in fighting off because my immature immune system is behind it. It's not strong enough. All right, I need you, mom. But mom's body doesn't know because mom is not in direct contact with baby. Another reason the CDC's recommendations are potentially deadly.